Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Harvest Moon Farm. If you're new, welcome to Harvest Moon Farm. My name is Mickey, and today we're going to do another recipe swap video. If you missed the first one, my friend Stacey and Stacey lives in New Zealand, and she has a channel called, I have to think about it, Farmers Wife Homestead. And because she's in New Zealand, I'm here in the United States, we thought it would be really fun to swap recipes. So we did a recipe swap about a week ago, excuse me, and so she sent me a recipe, I sent her a recipe, we made each other's recipes and tried them out. So it was really fun. So this is another video like that. So today I am going to be making Pavlova. It is sort of like a meringue. I mean, the basic recipe is a meringue, but you kind of shape it into this cool dessert. You top it with fruit and whipped cream, and it looks amazing. So we're going to give that a try. So Stacey says, so she sent me this information. So it says, the light, pillowy inner with its cracking shell exterior will leave you wanting more than just one slice. And I love meringue, so. The great thing about Pavlova is it can hide a multitude of mistakes. Yay! No worries, you hide it with lashings of whipped cream. I can totally do that. Okay, so this is another Kiwi versus Aussie recipe favorite where we duel it out on who came up with it first. Legend has it that, in fact, New Zealand was the first to make this delicious dessert in honor of, in honor of the visiting Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova, who visited both countries almost 100 years ago in 1927. In fact, it wasn't until the 1940s that the recipe was found in Australian books. However, I digress. Whoever came up with this beauty hit the nail on the head. Yes, it does look amazing. So Stacey said she's been making this family favorite dessert since her early 20s, so about 30 years. And you can either make it in a round shape, which is what the recipe she sent me tells you to do, or you can make it in a wreath shape, which is her favorite way to present it. So I think we are probably going to make it in a wreath, and then you can put your fruit and whipped cream in the middle, and then when you get your slices, you'll have a little bit of all of it. So we are going to get started. Okay, so first thing we want to do is get our oven preheated. We want it preheated to 110 degrees Celsius, which is 230 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to go get that started. And if your oven does not let you get that precise, probably you could do 225 and it would be fine. All right, so we need 6 egg whites that are at room temperature, which I have plenty. Of course, I have my own chickens, and 2 cups of castor sugar. So for those of you in the United States, castor sugar, when I looked it up, the closest thing here in the United States, and maybe you can buy castor sugar here, I don't know, I've never seen it, but ultra fine sugar is essentially the same thing. I don't have any, so what I'm going to do is put some of my regular sugar in my blender and blend it until it's fine. Not fine enough to make powdered sugar, but fine enough to make an ultra fine blend of sugar. Alrighty. And I need to get my measuring cup. So one of the great things about this recipe is that it really only takes about 20 minutes to put it together. Most of the time is spent baking or resting in the oven. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 cups of my regular sugar in our blender. Whoa, or spill it on the counter, whichever. There we go, 2 cups. And And I'm just gonna pulse this, I think, if I can figure out how to pulse this. Let's see. Okay, I think that is enough. Let me not get powder up my nose. Oh yeah, okay, so that is a nice fine sugar without being all the way, you know, confectioner's sugar. All right, so let's get this blender out of the way. So now we want to take our eggs, or our egg whites, and we're just gonna put them in our mixer. I'm gonna use my stand mixer, and we're just going to let them beat until they start forming some soft peaks. All right, and I am going to just break one at a time into my bowl. I just like to double check these before I put them in my, oh, what a dingling. I'm supposed to be separating out the yolk. What a dork. Let me see if I can do this without breaking it. Oh, I did. Okay, so I'm going to get another bowl for my yolks. Alrighty, last one. And I'll probably, not sure what I'll do with my egg yolks. I might have something that I can make with them later today. So I'm just gonna set them actually in the refrigerator until I decide what I'm gonna do. My refrigerator is full of so much produce right now that it's hard to find room for anything else. All right, so let's get this going. And the reason you want to use room temperature egg white is that they'll whip up much faster and fluffier. So we are going to put this on, it doesn't say, but I'm going to get it going. And then we're just going to line a cookie sheet with parchment paper, and we're going to use this to put our dessert on before we put it in the oven. Alrighty, so this is starting to form soft peaks. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add our ultrafine or caster sugar into our mixture, a quarter cup at a time, while the mixer's running, and just continue beating that in there. And then this mixture will become really glossy and really thick and stiff. And this should take at least 10 minutes. I'm gonna let it be for a few more minutes. All right. So you can see this is really thick. So Stacey said the way that you can tell it's thick enough is if you hold the bowl over your head and none of it drops on you. I am not that brave. I'm afraid it will slide out of the bowl, so I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna trust that it's thick enough because it didn't fall off the spatula. So now we wanna add, the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of corn flour. In the United States, we call it cornstarch. So we've got cornstarch here, 2 teaspoons. And then we need a teaspoon of vanilla. And a teaspoon of white vinegar. Oh goodness. All right, so then we're just gonna go ahead and let that all beat in with our eggs. Okay. Don't know how to do this without getting this recipe all over my counter. Let's see, will it stand up? Oh, it did. Okay, so we are going to take this. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm going to do my best to make this into a ring. I don't know how well it's going to turn out. But if it doesn't turn out, we'll just follow the recipe and hide it with whipped cream. Okay. So I'm going to try and scoop this up here. All right. There's my best shot. So we are going to put this into the oven now for 1.5 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and, actually I'm going to try and scoop this up. We're going to put this in, set our timer for 1.5 hours. After 1.5 hours, we're going to turn the oven off and we're going to leave it in the oven for another hour. So I'll be back when we're ready to take this out of the oven and put the toppings on. Okay, so our dessert is done. We just got back from a retirement party for one of Joe's uncles. So I'm going to go ahead and cut up a couple of peaches. I'm just going to slice them up really thin to put on our dessert. And then I need to make up some whipped cream. And I probably could leave the peel on these peaches, but peaches are better when you put them in a dessert like this without the peel. So I'm going to slice these really thin. And I don't know if my oven was too hot, My oven does run, I think, a little bit hot. But I think the dessert got a little bit drier than it should have. But I'm sure it will still be delicious, even if it's not exactly like it's supposed to be. And I don't know about my husband, I'm not really hungry because we ate a ton of food at the party. But we are definitely going to try out our dessert. And I think that this dessert would also be really good with strawberries. It would be really good with a lot of just fresh fruit. So I'm gonna get some cream in here. He's like, ooh, trick. Beating. We'll let it go until there's some soft peaks starting to form, just like with our meringue. Then I'll add some vanilla and start, actually I think I should need to add the sugar first. I'll add some sugar. So here's our Pavlova, but as you can see, it broke. It tastes delicious, but it broke. It's very sweet. Alright, so I don't want to turn my whipped cream into butter. Okay, so I'm going to pour this fruit in the middle. Like that. And then we're going to top it with our whipped cream. Okay, so here is what this looks like. It looks amazing. I have no idea if it looks the way it's supposed to, but everything seems to taste delicious, so I'm going to try to cut a piece. And I don't know if I'm supposed to eat it with a spoon or a fork. But I want to make sure I get some fruit on here. All right, so here's my little slice. So, oh, the inside is a little bit soft, but I think I did leave it in the oven too long. Oh my goodness. Stacey's right. Whichever country came up with this, doesn't matter, it's a winner. You definitely need the fruit or something because this is very sweet and very rich. So you need that fruit to kind of cut that super sweet flavor. But it is delicious. Oh my. So, wipe some of the sugar off my face here. Okay, so there was my attempt, my first ever attempt at Pavlova, or Pavlova. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. It is delicious. I'm definitely going to finish that. Hopefully my husband will be able to try some later. I know we ate so much at that party. So the recipe that I gave to Stacey is for tart cherry streusel bars. They're one of my favorite desserts. I make them every year at Christmas time. So make sure you pop on over to Stacey's channel, Farmers Wife Homestead. I'll put a link in the description box down below. I will also link the recipe for this that Stacey sent me. And I really hope that you guys are enjoying our recipe swap series that we're doing. If you have any ideas for recipes we should swap, be sure to put them in the comments so we can give them a try. And otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.